Good afternoon, everyone. So this is a recording notice. This lecture is being recorded. If you have any concerns, you need to contact me, please. Now, as you might know, today we have the last lecture. I just want to give you some idea about a software that we can use whatever we have done previously in the course. That's what is the Minitab. Now, Minitab is basically a software which is used in statistical calculation and probabilistic engineering calculations. It is used for data analysis. That's what we have been doing in past couple of weeks. It can provide you very simplified interface. And the Minitab can also build up your reports and graphs as well. That's what you need in most of the business presentations. Before I take you to the Minitab, I have worked on developing a Minitab installation guide for you. So you can follow these steps. I will make it available on T2L to install a free 30 days trial version. A couple of things you need to keep in mind when you are using this. The first thing is you need to use your MUN email ID. Just make sure when it is your organization issue email ID, you use your MUN email. So the time you enter MUN email ID, it will ask you about the university campuses. So choose the Memorial University of Newfoundland. In these steps, there is one more important thing that you need to make sure. Yes. So it will ask you about what courses you needed. This is for ENGI 9411. Is this product required for the course? Yes, it is. And that's my name. It will ask you about the instructor name. So once you follow these steps, you will have a 30 days trial version installed on your machine, which will look to something like this. So that's the main screen of the tab once you install your software. This screen, this menu on the top, this is called as the main menu, which has different options in it. For example, once you are done with your work, you can either save it or you can open any project. If you want to use the new worksheet or the project, you can open them, and you can also share your work with your colleagues or group mates. In the edit option, we have different options, whether you want to cut, copy, and paste, because so far there's no data entered into the Minitab worksheet, so you will not see them highlighted. In the view, we have different views for your Minitab. For example, if I go only on the data only, so you can see that it has closed my output. This is the data tab if you wish to add or separate any worksheet here. Now, two important things that are the calc, which is the calculations actually. These are all the basic things in the Minitab that we use. And these are the statistical calculations that we can do in the Minitab. Some of you have also done the projects on the reliability. You can use your data in the Minitab to perform the probabilistic calculation. Now the graphs, this is the graph section. If you want to develop the histogram as we were doing before, this is the empirical CDF that we also discussed. This is the probability plotting that we have also discussed, and different kinds of the charts that you can develop with the Minitab. Now this is the help section. If I click on this, it will take me to the internet, and there are tons of topics available in the Minitab, how you can perform the calculations using the Minitab. In the Minitab, there are three kinds of the data columns. There are three kinds of data columns. The first is the numeric. The second is the text. The third one is the date and time. In the numeric, as the name says, that there should be some numerical numbers, so this is mostly used for calculations, of course. There will be mathematical in that column. The text is not for computation. But it is used for name, location, type, and similar kind of text. This is same as you were doing in Microsoft Excel as well. You want to name a cell. Now date and time as it shows. So there will be the type, date type. It will ask you to select the date type. This date and time, it will not stored as the number. Now I will take you to the Minitab and will show you how it works. Now before I move to my Minitab, I just want to mention something more. If you are using a numeric data column, there will be no additional designation of the cell. There will be no additional designation. By that I mean to say, the Minitab column will not make any differentiation on it. However, if you are using the text in the Minitab, it will add a T next to your column name. For example, it can give you C1-T if your column C1 has a text in it. For the date and time, the Minitab will put the D next to the column name, which is the designation, and showing that it is date and time. And for example, it is in C1, so it will give you a D next to this. Folks, I will take you to the Minitab and show you what does everything means there. This area, as I mentioned, this is the menu here. This is your worksheet window. This is the same as you were doing in Microsoft Excel. However, in Microsoft Excel, you were seeing that it is written as A column, B column, C column, D column, and up to so on. In the Minitab, you will find them as C1, C2, C3, C4, and up to so on. This is called your worksheet data window. How you proceed that, if you, for example, this is the column where I want to have my text. I just right click here, it will give me a couple of options here. Either I can clear the cell, delete the cell, copy cell, cut cells, paste the cells, sort the columns, and you need to go in the format column here. With this format column, choose type, and once you drop down the menu, you will see that you have some options here. So for example, I want to enter the text into this column particularly. So I choose my text here, and then I click OK. The time I will click OK, you will see that as you can see, it has changed the cell from C1 to C1. The T is indicating the text. It is not used for the computation. Let's say we keep our C2 for numeric calculation, so there will be no designation with this. And for example, I take my C3 to mention the dates in it. The same process, I right click here. You go to format columns. And now I want to choose my date instead. So the time you choose the date here, it will ask what format of the date would you like to have. So this is the month, date, and year. You can also customize depending upon your requirements. Now the time I click OK here, it will change my designation, and it has changed it to D here. I should have chosen C3 anyways. My objective was just to show you how we work in the Minitab. So I have chosen two examples to show you. One is from the continuous random variable. The second is from the discrete random variable. Now this is the example which I'm going to show you how we solve it in the Minitab. This example is taken from Douglas and George book, which is on your D12 and on page 117. It is saying that the tensile strength of paper is modeled by a normal distribution with a mean of 35 pounds per square. This is the information about the mean value. That's my mean here, 35 pounds per square inch. And a standard deviation of 2 pounds per inch. He's asking what is the probability that the strength of our sample is less than 40 pounds per square inches. Now this is the answer that you receive once you go through all the process that we have been doing throughout the semester. I want to show you how you get this answer in the Minitab. One thing you need to keep in mind, this is question is related to the normal distribution. So I will try to keep this window open and we'll go into Minitab. In order to go for the normal distribution or any kind of the distribution, you need to go on Calc, CLC. As I mentioned, it is the most used menu bar that we used. And then you go on the probability distribution. With the probability distribution, you need to go on the cumulative probability. Once I click the cumulative probability, it is showing me a window to fill up. I just want to keep this statement and this window in parallel so that you guys can see it. Now the question was asking me the tensile strength of paper is modeled by a normal distribution. It's a distribution here. What I need to choose, I need to choose the normal distribution. By default, you will see it's normal. However, if you have any other question, just click this and it will show you all the distributions it can solve. These distributions we have already studied: binomial, exponential, gamma, geometric, log normal distribution, Poisson distribution, and uniform distributions. So for the given problem, I'm going to choose the normal distribution. Value is something at which you want to find out your probability. So here he's asking me what is the probability that the strength of a sample is less than 40 pound per square inch. So I will type in my 40 value. Now in the next section, it is asking me the mean value. The mean here is 35 from the statement, and my standard deviation is in the next, which is 2 pounds per square inch. So I enter my 2 here. So I have taken all the data I need from the question statement, and once you have the data, you can just click it OK, and it will process it and provide me the results here. Now before I click on OK, I just want to mention something more. Here it is showing me a single value. If I click it here, it is asking me a column of the values. So if you want Minitab to calculate more than one values, you can specify a column here and the Minitab will calculate all of them together. I will take one example for that as well. So for now, I'm interested to find out a single value here. And then you press OK. It will process and provide you your answer, which is 0.993790. And this is the same answer as we have from our calculations. So that's your final answer for this question. For example, I want to have a range of the values. Let's say I have 30 at which I want to find out the value. I do have the 50 where I want to find out the values. In that case, if you have the range of the values, now the process remains the same. So you go to the calc and go to your probability distributions and click on the cumulative probability. Now here it is asking me to provide the inputs. Let me check it. It was C2. Now instead of the single value, I have the input as a column of the values. And once you choose a column of the values and click the values in, it will display all the columns which have the numeric numbers in them. So right now it is a C2 only. So you click on it and then click select. It will enter the C2 value into the calculations. And as I know that the mean and the standard deviation is the same, just an example, I'm doing it. Depending upon your example, you can change the mean values or standard deviation or even the type of the distribution. And then you click OK here. So as you can see, it has calculated me the values at 30, values at the 50. One example for continuous random variables. I do have one example for the discrete random variable. Now this example I took on page 75 of your textbook. It is saying that each sample of water has 10% of containing a particular organic pollutant. Assume that the samples are independent with regard to the presence of the pollutant. Find the probability that in the next 18 samples, exactly 2 contain the pollutant. So this is my binomial distribution here. Now I will take you to the software and show you how you work on it. Now before I go into that, I just want to mention something. Whatever you are doing in Minitab, there is a navigator on the left of this. So if you wish to see your calculations or the answer for the previous ones, you can just go on that and it will show you your previous answers. Now this question is related to the binomial, and I'm going to do the same, and I will choose, I need to have my PMF here, for which you will choose the probability density function in Minitab. Now I do have the single value, of course, at the moment, and the distribution which I'm interested in is the binomial distribution. So just go here and click on the binomial distributions, and this is the input that it's giving us. So I'm interested to find out exactly 2 contain the pollutants. So this is my 2 here. And from this statement, there are 18 number of the trials because there are in 18 samples. Input my 18 number here. And in terms of the event probability, it is saying that water has 10% chance of containing a particular organic pollutant. So my probability value should 0.1. Now let me show you the whole window here. Again, if you have, you can just choose the column, input your values in the columns and link that column with the data. And then you click on OK. It has calculated binomial probability for n is equal to 18 and probability of 0.1. Your answer is 0.283512. This is what we have from our textbook as well. Now, in the same way, whatever we have studied in the chi-square test and the KS test, you can on those tests. You can just play around and see how it goes. My objective was just to show you or give you an idea whatever you have been doing from last 11 weeks or so, or 12 weeks. You can also use the Minitab to perform all those calculations. Folks, I will stop it here for the Minitab. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Then I will proceed with the next final exam details with you. Okay, it seems like you don't have any more. So just install this software and give a try to examples and the problems that we have done previously. Again, my idea is just to make sure you are aware whatever you are doing on the papers, we do have the software for them. The reason of doing this software by the end is because this is a trial version. If I have done it in the October, it might be expired. Maybe any one of you use it in your final exam. Okay, Hadis is asking, is there any guidance PDF regarding Minitab? Yes. Once you go on the help of the Minitab, you will see a complete, very well detailed guidance there. Try to work on chi-square methods or the KS test even over there. So to answer your question, yes, we have. You can use the Minitab just to confirm your answer, but I would need your calculations. Sean is asking, so based on your previous statement, are we allowed to use Minitab for the exam? Yes, you can use your Minitab in your final exam. However, I would need you to show all your calculations. You can verify your final answer using the Minitab. Okay, Jacobo is saying, thank you. I joined late due to the network. Please, how to get the software? Guideline on how you can install this software. You will be installing a 30 days trial version, which is good enough for you to learn. Folks, do you have any more question regarding tab? This is asking, is it still practical in companies? Yes, it is, of course. Now we have the latest version, which is Minitab 19, which we are using. Most of the statistical analysis is what is done on the Minitab. Is there any more questions regarding the Minitab? So I will provide you its installation guidelines, and you can install the software, work on it, and ask me if you have any questions. Usman is asking, is there any way to see the detailed calculations in the Minitab or the formulas? In the latest version, in the previous versions, we used to have the session windows, which will be in parallel to this, but you need to open the session windows in the Minitab 19. Jacobo is asking, can we handle the question related to Monte Carlo in the Minitab? Minitab develop the scenarios in a way the other software, just like Crystal Ball, develops for the Monte Carlo simulation. So I would strongly suggest you to use Crystal Ball for Monte Carlo or Microsoft Excel itself. every software has their applications, every software has their limitations. One important thing for you to know is what is the input in your software. I always say this: whenever you use a software, you need to know what could happen in the background, because even if you will provide the wrong input to the software, it will run it and provide you one answer which we know that it is wrong because the input is wrong. So you are the one who need to make sure you are providing the correct input so that the software can help you in you. Folks, do you have any more questions regarding the Minitab? It seems like you have no more questions for this. So I will stop the Minitab thing here, and I will explain you something about final exam. Now your final exams are going to start on December 11 and 12. How you will get this is a 2 days exam. How you will get your exam? I will post it on the D2L. So you need to keep eye on the D2L. How you will submit your exam? You will see that there is a dedicated Dropbox for the final exam. This is just like the same as you are submitting your assignments back to me or your projects. So you just need to make sure you upload your solution before the deadline to that Dropbox. By all means, this is your responsibility to submit your solution. By 2 days, I mean to say there will be 48 hours for you. How many questions will be there? There will be 8 questions. There will be numerical based questions. As a suggestion, do not waste your time finding a solution on the websites or Google or something. You will not find them there. Utilizing these 48 hours in the best way is the thing that you need to know. Folks, I'm going on the next slide now. Now, this thing I always include when I talk about the final exam. This is you guys, students' view. I have to take an exam tomorrow. So it might be me or your professor, or I have to give an exam tomorrow. So try not to be in this situation where you are in the panic and you make me in the panic. So try to have your preparation done before your final exam. You still have at least 1 week. I would suggest you to go through your lectures, go through the videos again. Maybe something, or you didn't notice and note something. So go through the videos, lectures again, and note down everything. Make sure you have your correct notes available with you, because we have crossed almost 1700 hours. So I don't think you will be sit on a night and have a look on them again. So just make sure you have your all notes ready. This one I adopted from the PhD comics. So try not to be in the panic, either you or me. However, I do believe there can be some problem during the exam. If you have any problem, other than asking me the solution of your final exam, of course, please drop me an email. I will be very quick to respond to you. Once you will get your final exam, you will see there are some instructions. One of the instruction which I want to highlight is to provide me your solution in a single PDF file. There should be no more files. There should be no more than one file that you need to upload. You will see that you are using Microsoft Excel. Take the screen, then include that in your Word file and convert that into the PDF. So your final exam should be uploaded as a single PDF file. I will not be able to accept the multiple files just because it creates too many problems. Please make sure there is no plagiarism. Choose your own exam. Please do not copy paste from your friends. Up to 80% of your final exam will have the unique solution. By that means, your friend will have the totally different answer than what you are doing. So just on your exam solution. Folks, do you have any questions so far? We have a question from Jonathan. What time on the 11th will we will be able to assess it? Sir, it will be available made at 12 a.m. on 11th in the midnight. I will make it available for you. Sean is asking, that the question will cover from start of the course. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Sean, for reminding me. So everything that we have covered, that will be the part of your exam. Sean is asking, will we be expected to complete any problem with the software, ball, Genie, or could it be all completed by hand? You will be using Microsoft Excel. The use of the Genie, Crystal Ball, or the Minitab, I just showed you that we can perform the calculations in these software, but at least you should practice Microsoft Excel. Welcome, Sean. Is there any more questions, folks? Adis is asking, are the questions the same as the assignments? It will be similar to those, but the solution of your final exam will be different than your friend. Sean is asking, how long would you expect the exam to take? So if you are in good preparation, if you have prepared well, it should not take more than 7 to 8 hours. You asking, just thinking loud, my crystal has expired. You mean to say, I think crystal ball software, right? Yes, as I mentioned, you don't need to have the crystal ball used in your final exam, but make sure the Microsoft Excel available in your computer. You will enjoy that final exam if you are in a good preparation. Folks, do you have any more questions for me regarding your final exam? Jonathan is asking, would you recommend the practice problems you assigned during the course as a good preparation material? Yes, sir, of course. Any kind of the practice problem which I mentioned to you in the course, you need to go through them for sure. As I mentioned, you don't need to panic about your final exam. Just have a good preparation. You will enjoy your final exam as you prepare. Your friend might not have the time to help you out even. So better to do your own exam. Are there any more questions regarding the final exam? Or It seems like you don't have any more question regarding the final exam. So with the note, folks, I just want to suggest you to have good skills learned during your course of studies. Some of you are going to graduate in this semester. Some of you will be here in the next semester as well. Try to develop some skills into your CV. Jacobo is saying, does the questions carries the same weight? No, they will not. It will be mentioned on the questions. Folks, at the end, I just want to wish you very best of luck in your futures. Either you are going to graduate, I hope you find a good job. And if you are with us in the next semesters, I hope to see you again in some other course. Thank you very much and good luck. Thank you very much, everyone. If you work on your course and if you have any problem, just drop an email. I will be more than happy to assist you. Thank you very much, everyone. And we have a question from Thomas. What topics will the exam cover primarily? More topics from the end or the questions from the whole semester? It's the whole semester. I just mentioned to the question. It will be the whole course, Thomas. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. And I wish you best of luck. Good luck for your careers ahead and hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.